What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Hands-On channel. Today we're out in the garage, and more specifically, we're fixing to go underneath the dash and do a deep dive here on my 93 Chevy. I had to go through a whole bunch of stuff, and I may make a separate video about this, but I had a hard time determining what exactly a code 37 was. I was getting a code. My truck's been running poorly, and I thought, hey, I better pull the codes. And I'm not going to show you how to do it, but basically, that OBD1 connector under your dash there, you can jump a paper clip on A and B and then turn the ignition on, and it will flash a series of codes. The first one being 12, but then, then you'll have to decipher or interpret what the flashes and stuff like that are, and you can figure out, because basically it's always a 2-digit number, and the first code is number 12, so it'll be one flash and then 2 short flashes. So you can figure out, and eventually I ended up getting a code 37. So I started going online to figure out what a code 37 was, and they kept saying brake light switch. When I finally found something, it said brake light switch, and I'm like, okay, how could that have anything to do with the thing running poorly? Well, what I didn't know at the time is that the brake light switch is not just one switch. It's actually 3 switches built into one. It deactivates your cruise when you're going down the highway and you have your cruise set, so that's one switch. The second switch is your brake light, obviously. It tells the brake light to turn on and off when you release the pedal. And the third switch is the torque converter stall switch. So it basically stalls at a certain speed. When the vehicle senses you're slowing down or decelerating or sitting at a stop sign, it's supposed to allow a little bit more slip so that you get better fuel economy and different things like that. But anyway, I had to read through. I actually found online a like 1,500 page Chevrolet service manual, and I had to read through and scan through. I didn't actually read every bit of that, but I scanned through until I found all about the brake light switch. So I want to share this with you guys and show you, because I came onto YouTube a little while ago and I thought, hey, I'll just see, maybe someone else has already made the video, and if they have, I didn't see it. The ones I saw, these guys were all pulling off the rod. They were unhooking the rod that goes over to the brake power booster through the firewall, and I'm like, why would you unhook that? Unless you're changing out the power booster, there's no reason to unhook that. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys this real quick. Hopefully it'll be a quick video. You don't need any tools that I'm aware of, except maybe a screwdriver to help you get the wiring harness clip unhooked, but it should be fairly simple. The hard part for me is going to be showing you guys exactly where it is. Okay, so I'm obviously under the driver's side. We're looking up under the dash, and it's going to take me a moment to frame this. Let me find the brake pedal here. Okay, have to get you down a little lower. There's something I want to show you that's kind of critical on this install here. For one, this is the part we're after right here. It basically wraps around the brake pedal right here, and hopefully you can see that little pointer moving right there. Let me point to it with the screwdriver. Right here. This is what I'm talking about. There's a little pointer that moves back and forth as you're depressing the pedal, right? Okay, so that's still working, and obviously we got to get this wire off, but we don't have to get that wire off just yet. I'm pretty sure this whole thing is just friction fit. But one other thing I want to show you before we pull this old one off is right up here, there's a piece of metal. Let me see, make sure I'm getting that. There's a piece of metal right here that has like a little channel built into it. It's just basically a piece of sheet metal, but it has some sort of a, what would you say, like a slot or a channel that this thing slides into, and that's what locks it into place. And that's kind of how it works. And it also has another up high up here Make sure I'm pointing at it still. Up at the top, there's a little bit of a C shape or a U shape up there that clips around the top of the brake pedal arm there. So I think what we can do is just reach up in here and just pull down. And man, that was easy. You don't have to fight that clip. Don't do stuff you don't have to do. I see this all the time on how-to and DIY videos, and I get it. A lot of these guys aren't pros, but man, even the homeowner, you know, the occasional auto mechanic should still know these kinds of things and not go hardcore on something you shouldn't have to. So here's the old switch. In fact, now I should be able to turn the camera around like this. And sorry about that, getting a shot of light there, but here's the old switch. And we're just gonna simply unhook that, hook the new one in, and install it in reverse order. See, that's what I was trying to explain. It's kind of hard to explain it off camera. This thing is, would you call that miter slot? I don't know what to call that connection there, but this guy here slides up. I'm on the driver's side, so it's over here on to the left. It slides up into a slot that thing fits right into. So let's see how you go about unhooking this thing. Can I just squeeze it with my finger, or am I gonna need a tool? There we go. Okay. Yeah, I just wasn't pushing that clip in far enough. Yep, this camera's gonna fight me the whole time. Promise you, I could do it in half the time if I wasn't trying to balance a GoPro down here. So, let's just set you right there. Would that work? Okay, we'll try it like this, see if this works. There we go. Okay, grab the new part. I went over to AutoZone, so I got a Duralast. Here's the part number on that if you want to check it out and get the same one. Again, this is a 93 Chevy, so your mileage may vary depending on your year. Let's see here. Any extra parts? It gives us some instructions here. Depress the brake pedal fully once we install this. Pull lever A on the brake switch back to its stop. Pull the brake pedal back to the rest position. Okay. Think I got it. So, looks like to me what we'll want to do is get our wires back on. Nice, satisfying click there. That works. And another one, okay. So yeah, this is that C-shape, U-shape thing I was talking about that clips onto the top of the pedal. And this goes around the bottom. And we need to make sure and line up that little thing there with the groove up top. And we're almost home. Let's see how that looks. Everything seems to be going pretty well. So yeah, a while back my cruise control stopped working and I had a brake light on the dash, and I just kind of ignored it because I was like, well, it's an old truck, what do you expect? Of course the brake light's on. And I didn't really think much about it until recently when it started running poorly. Okay, here we go. I don't want to break any of this stuff, it's plastic. Something's giving me resistance here. Make sure I'm not pulling a wire. Wires look good. Well, that might help though, just to get it around that plug. Okay. There we go. Okay, I was in the groove on one side and not on the other. Okay. Now we're just going to inspect everything. Okay, so to make an adjustment on this, they say push the brake pedal fully. Well, I can't really do that because it's got power brakes and the truck's not running. But I'm pushing it pretty far. Okay, now they say pull the lever A on the brake switch back to its stop. So I'm assuming they mean like this, back to its stop. I just pressed it fully. And now pull the brake pedal back to the rest position. Okay. Feels like it's rested. So now I'm going to start the truck up and we'll get up here at the top and check it out. Okay. Now I don't know that this is going to fix my running problem that I've been having. But hopefully it will. Got to turn the radio down so I don't get copyrighted or something. Okay. Started right up. Seems to be running okay. I am going to make that adjustment again now though, that the truck's running. Oh yeah, I can push it a lot farther. Well, let's take her for a ride and see how she does. It feels a little better. So one of my theories is that that switch for the torque converter can get stuck two different ways. One way, having to look here out the back window to make sure I don't hit anything. One way is it can be stuck open, or it could be stuck closed, meaning that it could tell the thing to slip all the time, or never slip. And I think what I might have had going on was a never slip situation, because it was making my truck die. I was getting a lot of dies and stalls down at low RPMs. And I noticed, especially if I had anything else running, like any other accessories, like AC or anything like that. But now she seems to be idling pretty good so far. I don't want to curse myself or jinx myself. So the other thing was my cruise control went out a while back. And, you know, again, I thought it was just the cruise control module, because everything that I researched online was, you know, indicating that the cruise control module was probably the culprit. So let's go. I'm going to put you over here in the passenger seat. Let's go take a little quick spin, see what we see. Okay, so far so good. Seems all right. We'll have to see how that goes. And again, I'm not even sure that this is going to fix it 100%, but my brake light is off. So that's good news. And actually, it feels a little snappier coming out of the hole there. So hopefully that's the ticket. So far, so good. Now, the moment of truth. I've gone like 3 or 4 years without cruise control. And if my cruise starts working, that's gonna blow my mind. Cruise on. Oh my God. I just heard it click. I haven't heard that click in like 3 or 4 years. So guys and gals, dudes and dudettes, if you find yourself with a brake light on your 93 Chevy, don't do like I did and ignore it for 5 years. Instead, go ahead and fix it. Oh my God, my freaking cruise works. All right, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my test drive, get out here on the real road. Anyways, guys, just want to be fully transparent whenever I make videos. I like to tell you the pros and the cons of all this stuff. Well, it did help in 2 ways, but it didn't fully fix my problem. So it's still running a little poor. When I got out there and was getting on it on the open road, I could feel there's a certain point in the throttle that I feel suddenly it just like gives up the ghost and starts bogging out. And it's about halfway into the throttle. It's pretty heavy. If you like feather it or ease into it or try to push around it, you can get around it. And once I put it all the way on the floor, it will eventually kind of clear up and take off like a, you know, scalded ape. But I'm still having problems with it. I'm not exactly sure, but it did seem to help the torque converter lock up. My RPM at like 60 or 70 miles an hour was like 1,500 or less. So that's pretty good. That will help with fuel mileage. And I had forgotten, you know, it's been so long, I just kind of thought, it's just a truck, that's just the way it is. Because I drive multiple vehicles, I was thinking it was just a gearing thing and I hadn't really noticed it. But anyway, that's on me. I should have paid more attention to that when that brake light came on. But the old truck, you know, she's got 266,475 miles on the factory engine and transmission. So that's doing pretty good. So don't suffer with a, you know, the brake switch being bad. And it probably would have helped if GM would have named that like brake, torque converter, cruise control switch, you know, because then we'd all known that to look there if there's a problem. So if your cruise suddenly stops working and your brake light comes on, notice it's not on. It's usually like right over there. I believe it's down there at the bottom. If I'm not mistaken, it might be up at the top, but let's see. I think I can touch my e-brake. Yep, there it is. It's at the bottom. Just make sure to pull that off because I broke my parking brake cable years ago. That's another thing on the agenda I need to fix. But yeah, it didn't fully fix my problem, so that's unfortunate. When I first pulled out of the driveway, it seemed 100% better, but then as I got on it a little bit, it started doing the wanting to die stuff, and it's weird. When you have it in neutral, it seems okay. So I don't know, but even there I feel a little bit of bog from about 2000. It's like it's just not quite as snappy as it used to be. So I've already tuned it up. I put a brand new distributor cap and rotor on it. I've done a lot of that sort of stuff. I was thinking maybe fuel filter or fuel related, like maybe my fuel pump is getting weak, or maybe fuel injector. So I don't know. There's another thing called an idle air control or air idle control or something like that that's on the TBI unit, and that may be the next thing on the agenda to change. But anyway, I wanted to be fully transparent and let you guys know that did not fix 100% of my problems, but it did fix two major problems: the cruise control not working and the possibility that my torque converter was not locking up when it was supposed to be. So anyway, hope it helped you out. Appreciate you tuning in, and until then, we'll see you next time.